it's my answer to this is always twofold. But for this conversation, man, I'm just gonna stop it with I understand, because the world is just upset, man. Everybody is just pissed off because this is happening repeatedly. It's time after time. And so we can't even heal from the previous one because another one is coming right back to open the wound. And so you having all of these people who are dealing with, these are traumatic experiences, man. If you know anything about psychology, like, man, we walk around dealing with PTSD, generational stuff, man, that we had no say in the matter. You know, that stress and stuff, man, and trauma travel through sperm. So if not that, that's already enough. But then in the present day, we're seeing, man, there was a time, man, when the FCC probably would have banned watching on live television or streaming something, somebody lose their life. Like, they'll report about it, you know, this is what happened earlier, but man, you're watching it live on television. And so now if you're not already dealing with trauma, understand what every Black man in America right now, in the world,
PTSD.
It's triggers, man. It's triggers.
Yeah, man. I think what's missing is that voice that we had back in the day with Martin Luther King, man. Because right now, yes, you have people that are rioting for the right reason, or I should say marching for the right reason. But then you have another group of people that are simply just out to take advantage of the situation. They ain't out there trying to go down the street and holler out the rights that we supposed to have. While people are down in the street hollering out the rights that we supposed to have, they sneaking off to the stores and trying to figure out how can I come up off this situation. And so what's bad about Atlanta, I love what T.I. said, that we Wakanda. This is Atlanta. This is the place where Black people come to prosper and to grow. In these shops that you're breaking out, I got a friend downtown, man, that got a shop. They lost $150,000 worth of product, man, you know, out of their shop. This is Black owned, man. You hitting up Black folks, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I think it's two sides, man, and I think we need that one voice. We don't have that one voice yet in Atlanta where people listen to that voice, man, and say, okay, this is the voice that we're going to follow.
Not only in Atlanta, just literally within our communities. And you know, you can bring up the point that the reason we don't have leaders a lot of times is because every time we get one, they get killed. You know what I mean? Every time we have somebody that you can pinpoint, they got a target on their back. So anytime somebody's speaking out, making a change, making a difference, that's your target. That's who you can take out. You know, and you look at other communities, who's the Chinese American leader in their community? They ain't got one. You know what I mean? We don't need a singular person, but we do need a plan. And I think that we were taught the civil rights movement. So we go back and we look at the civil rights movement and we saw they march. But the marching wasn't the thing that brought the change. That was a public showing of a lot of work that happened. When, you know, people go and they learn about the Montgomery bus boycotts and they think, oh, okay, they stayed off the bus and whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. A week later, like, no. They were walking to work for a year. They boycotted the bus when they needed the bus, but they showed them that the bus needed me more. We can't even turn off a football game nowadays. Like, our temperament is different. Plus, there's no plan, you know? So we see the marching, but we don't do all the things that are necessary in order to bring about a change. Things like that Atlanta is doing that our brother Killer Mike said recently. Which is, you know, Atlanta got rid of cash bond. That's a big deal.
That's
decriminalizing
big.
marijuana. That's a big deal. Closing prisons. That's a big deal. The reason the police officers are so empowered is because literally that's their job, is to fill prisons. It's part of their job. That's why so many things are illegal for people who don't have as much resources. So we kind of got to make a full plan. It ain't about just going out and being angry, because Atlanta is a home of a lot of Black businesses, and a lot of Black businesses got jacked up down there. And I know we mad, and I know we angry, and we got to do something. And I tell you, the positive of it is that 30 cities were burning last night. 30 of them burning, and that's a statement. So I ain't gonna take nothing away from the people who are mad that are going out and doing stuff, because the whole world got to pay attention and see these people are fed up.
Yeah. I just think that they just need to burn the building that got the student loans and stuff. And all them.
Right.
They burning the wrong building.
Brad really saying as well, to add to what Brad is really, what you're saying as well, that's important, is that a lot of people are upset. I'm upset, you're upset, we're all upset. But I also say that sometimes I think that white people, especially the racist white people and so forth and so on, use us like batteries. They know exactly what moves that we're willing to make when we're angry. They know exactly how. So if you listen now, they got conspiracies that white people are the ones starting to riot in the neighborhood and tearing up everything. So I send all my KKKs out there for you, and I look like I'm a part of your battle, and I'm really destroying everything that you want. I just seen a video now. They had a bunch of pile of bricks downtown just sitting there waiting for you, for you to employ you to say, huh, he go to bricks for you. Somebody put them bricks out there for you. Yes. They put a pile of bricks so you can just grab the bricks and go. So here's the key. What I'm saying, when you're a battery, that means that you move with your attitude of anger. You don't move with your brain power. So Mark, this is why you don't know that you're affecting a black man's business, because you didn't do your homework. You just went out here and started tearing shit up.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, you just went off your anger and it didn't do anything. So even when you go to the white establishment, Fifth Plaza and all these things, I tell people all the time, you may have did them a favor. Let me tell you why. Because first of all, Corona is here and nobody's buying no diamonds and Gucci's like that anyway. So when you went and took all their shit and messed it up and did everything that you've done, they just get to go get the biggest insurance claim of their life at the most hardest time that they was probably having as a company. So
they're gonna get it. They're gonna get that claim.
They're gonna get it because you don't put it all live on TV for them to get it. So the claim is there. So you didn't really probably hurt them. You probably actually helped them. But then the small business and the black businesses, you really hurt, because they're going to have a harder time trying to rebuild that and may not have the insurance policy that they need in place to do it, because they barely can keep the doors open. So this is what I mean, that we got to think a little bit more. It's on your march, get set. Wait a minute. What is the plan? How are we going to execute the plan? How we're going to affect change, not tonight and tomorrow, but we're going to affect change for the rest of our lives. Go and vote. Go do something. Go figure out what you need to do. The same way you piled up together to go out here and tear and loot and do all the things like I agree with Mark. It went from protesting to looting to robbing. That's what's happening right now. If we can get all three of those, the looters, the protesters, and the robbers, to go to the voting booth, we can change history.
I love what Killer Mike said, man, about the whole projection, right? Plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize.
That's it.
That's it.
I think,
and mobilization is really big, because another thing that he said was, don't burn down your own house.
Don't burn
like, if we got 30 cities on fire, you gonna tell me 15% of people can't leave all those cities and go to the front lawn in DC at the house that really needs to be brought down, really needs to be, okay, now we can have a face-to-face conversation. I got 8 million angry Negroes out here that said, you want to tweet to shoot me? Come out here and do it yourself. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah.
That's what I would, now that's an organization that you can be a part of, where you can go out and say, okay, you got something to say. Don't say it on Twitter. Say it to us. You can
think,
out to shoot us.
What I would like to see, I would like us to imitate what the Jewish people do, man. You know what I mean? And how they circulate their money in their own community before it goes out. And so I think our power is in our money, man. So we make the least, but we contribute the most to retail. You know what I mean? The economy runs off our dollar when it comes to retail, man. I think July 7th is going to be critical, and I'm quite sure y'all got that.
Yeah, that's my birthday. That's why it's going to be critical.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if we, like you said something else, Brad, if we could make up our minds to collectively come together and do that, this is gonna be a big test. Can we do that one day? Like you said, they would not ride the bus for a whole year. Can we one day not spend money, not even secretly, not go secretly? So can we one day hold off. That's going to be pretty crucial, man. That's how we're going to make America wake up.
And exactly, I agree with you wholeheartedly, because you got to think about it, man. The only way to really make change is to hit somebody's bottom line, right? You have to affect their bottom line. You have to affect their bottom line, the economics of everything, because you can't dethrone the power. But what you can do is affect the power by affecting the bottom line. So if we're looking at the building of 9/11, I keep telling people, let's use what we're using now. What we're talking about is an analogy. The building wasn't knocked down by the airplane. It was an illusion for you to pay attention to that, so I can knock it down from the bottom of the foundation. I blew it up from the bottom. That's the same thing we have to do as people. We have to go and affect their bottom line for them to pay attention on not thinking that we are what I told you, a battery and a robot. Oh, they'll do it for 30, 45 days and they'll be right back behind it again. Oh, they're going to do this and talk and they're going to march and they're going to be back supports again. They're going to say all of these things and they coming right back in Gucci. They coming right back in, all these places, and that you swear tummy here figure, whatever the case may be.
We couldn't hold on to them, man.
You can't do it. So these are the key of what happens inside of it. So for me, I'm very, very careful on the things I say that I'm not going to do, because if I say that I'm not going to do it, then I'm never going to do it again. You know what I mean?
Everybody,
that's what I'm going to do.
We're running out of time. Everybody give a closing thought, starting with you, Mark.
My closing thought like this, man. I think that we got to learn to live our lives from the inside out rather than from the outside in. And so, you know me, man, I'm all about the spirit, you know what I mean, and building up that spirit, man, to help control that outside action. So live from the inside out, man. Greater is he who is in you than he that's in the world. That's my closing.
Q Parker.
Wow. Plot, plan, strategize, mobilize.
Word.
That's it.
Jevon.
One voice, one power. Don't look for a leader, be the leader. Your reflection is what you reflect. So work on the reflection. That means you got to work on yourself, a person that's in the mirror. So when you go out into the world, you reflect something that other people want to follow. So stop looking for the leader and become the leader.
That's what's up. Mine is, you mad? You should be mad. What you gonna do about it? That's all our time today. Hope you guys enjoyed this truth from us. There's more to come.
The truth is really enough for a man.
Made for a
woman.
Peace.